buck, Sony's are some of the best cameras, and if you are in the market for a mid-range camera, Sony is the one that I'd honestly recommend. I wouldn't even touch the A7S3s unless you are solely relying for video use. The lens, which I know everyone asks about, this thing right here on the side, it is optical snapshot, or OSS. And I know that most cameras, or I guess most modern Sonys, do have in-body image stabilization where the sensor kind of moves around, but the stabilization on the lens itself is so much better, and it makes handheld that much easier. So now I don't have to carry the Ronin, I don't need a gimbal, I don't need a stabilizer. All of my handheld shots for, say, my Apple event, for when I was in Montreal, for Turkey, for my upcoming trip to Vietnam, will just be done handheld. And for that reason alone, I cannot swear by this lens enough. It's just a one-lens run-and-gun shop. One lens, like I said, to rule them all. This has to be the one. And inside the rest of my pack, I only actually carry one other. I could honestly go without this, but for some reason I cannot get away from my 18mm Batis. So this, like I said, is 18mm, so it's ultra wide angle lens, great for vlogging. Not that I do as much, but great for landscape shots, and it's the only design that I carry in my pack. I've had this lens also for 3 to 4 years. I unfortunately have this deadly little scratch. I know that most cameras, or I guess most modern Sonys, do have in-body image stabilization where the sensor kind of moves around, but the stabilization on the lens itself is so much better, and it makes handheld work that much cleaner. So now I don't have to carry around a Ronin, I don't need a gimbal, I don't need a stabilizer. All of my handheld shots for, say, my Apple event, for when I was in Montreal, for Turkey, for my upcoming trip to Vietnam, will just be done handheld. One camera. So the main camera of choice that I bring is the Sony a7 Mark IV. And in the studio, we're recording right now both on a cam with the 7S Mark IIIs. I find that the 4 is perfect, not only because it's a cheaper price point relatively compared to those other two cams, it's something that in case something happens to it, I'm not biting my mouth and saying I've lost $3,500. I get it, it's still expensive, but it is on the cheaper end scale, and it also has a higher megapixel count, which makes it better theoretically for both stills and video, because if you just travel with one camera, you want to have the best hybrid of both. So that is the main cam. It also shoots an S-Log 3, just like the two cameras. It color matches perfectly to my other cameras. I think you can tell I am Team Sony. I've just shot with them for so long. I'm used to the body size. It's still a relatively small and compact. I know guys like Marquez, you guys travel around with your red cameras. I do not have the capacity, the workflow, or I guess the the knowledge, I've never actually shot on a red, and I think they're just a bit too bulky for the run and gun style of stuff that I do. I think bang for your buck, Sony's are some of the best cameras, and if you are in the market for a full frame carry, one other, I could honestly go without this, but for some reason I cannot get away from my 18mm Batis. So this, like I said, is that I carry in my pack. I've had this lens also for 3 to 4 years. I unfortunately have this deadly little scratch on the glass, which we'll zoom up to with a macro shot. I wish there was some sort of cover, but because this is kind of like a fisheye lens, there's really nothing that goes over top. Other than that, I love the Batis coloring. I love the way that this lens looks. Before I rocked the 24 to 105, my actual combo used to be the 18mm and the 85mm. Those were the two primes that I carried around, but just for the versatility of this, I've replaced the 85. I know that I've